Anta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki, Samarata Bhaktivinoda ki, Shinitai Gaura Prem.
Hari 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 Hare Krishna Hari Bol. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jataha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trishe Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prema Nanda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Ajanu Lambita Pujo Kanakavadato Samkirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Bande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaudaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shamdo Tamonudo Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Shruto Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Mat Sarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto, Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo, Preshtadibhi Sevyamano Smarami. Sriman Rasarasanam Bhi Vam Shivata Tatakstitaha, Karshana Venu Swanair Gopir, Gopinata Shriyestunaha. Brindai Tulsi Debai, Priyai Keshavasya Cha, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi, Satyavachai Namo Namaha. Bhaktya Vihina Aparadha Lakshai, Kshiptascha Kamadi Taranga Madhye, Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna, Brinde Numaste Charanarvindam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali, at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Astatarasata, Sri Srila, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Astatarasata, Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I'm offering my Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of all of my Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, especially to the lotus feet of Sri Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, who is the author of Sri Vilapa-kusumanjali and who lived on the banks of Sri Radha Kunda for a very long time, lamenting and weeping to have the darshan of Srimati Radharani and her seva. I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas and to all the Vaishnavis. Remember the verse number?
27?
No, 28. 27. In verse number 27, what was Raghunath Das Goswami praying for? Goshtendra Putra Madachitta Karindra Raja Bandhaya Pushpa Dhanusha Kila Bandha Rajo Kim Karnayos Tavavaroru Varavatangsha Yugmena Bhushanamaham Sukita Karishye. O beautiful one, when will I happily decorate your ears with beautiful earrings, which are Cupid's 2 ropes for binding the heart of the regal Mad elephant. Who's that? The Prince of Braja. He doesn't say his name. He says the Prince of Braja. So then we heard about all the different types of decorations of the ears. So many different categories, so many beautiful flower decorations, all different types. Yeah. So he's saying that decoration of her ears with beautiful earrings are like Cupid's what? Two ropes for binding the heart of the regal mad elephant, the Prince of Braj. Yes. So much description about the dressing and the decorating of Srimati Radhika. An eternal function of all the manjaris and the Sakhis also. But manjaris, they specifically have this right, this opportunity. And especially at particular times. The Sakhis sometimes cannot come into the kunja. But the manjaris, there's no bar. And they're always watching. In the Sevakunj painting, you see the pairs of eyes painted into the background, looking through slits. That's our eternal activity, is watching the divine couple and their praying vilas and just completely overwhelmed and relishing and tasting. So, all of the Sakhis are under the guidance of Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra. Why Chitra?
She's the artist.
Yeah. Yes. She has very great talent in painting and drawing. So, then, after the guidance of Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, all the Sakhis who are under their guidance, then after them, under the guidance of Rupa-manjari and Rati-manjari. And they are all ready to decorate Srimati Radhika. And when they are combing Srimati Radhika's hair, one of the Sakhis remembers the pastimes of Krishna combing Srimati Radhika's hair, and the Sakhi is telling to Radhika. And then Srimati Radhika is sometimes feeling shyness, sometimes she's laughing, sometimes smiling, and sometimes giving a light, playful what? Punch to her Sakhis. They are all smiling, laughing, and joking among themselves. And then, what kind of tilak that was in the verse before, Gurudev is saying, how they are making tilak, and they call that tilak Kanta Mana Mohana. That means that tilak, what attracts the mind of Krishna. And when he sees her tilak, he is at once attracted to Srimati Radhika. It works like a controlling mantra, or like a goad, right? Elephant goad, which is used to control a mad elephant from going here and there, breaking everything. So who has the the marking of an elephant goad on her feet?
You just
Did
gave
you
it
notice?
away.
What?
You gave it away.
Well, there's a lot of her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hers. But you guessed it. She has an elephant goat. It's an eternal symbol on her lotus feet. How important this is, huh? All of what we're reading here it is the highest, most intimate symbolisms. And it has the deepest meaning. Because everything is based upon the transcendental, loving, praying vilas, the playful pastimes of praying of Radha and Krishna. Everything is based on that. All of Braj actually. We sing that in our song that we sing in the morning, circumambulating Tulsi. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan. And then we come to the ending, near the end of the song, where it's telling what? Jai Jai Ujjvala Rasa. What is Ujjvala Rasa? It's this. Jai Jai Ujjvala Rasa, Sarva Rasa Sar. The essence of all ras. Sarva Rasa Sar. Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. All of Braj is broadcasting this ras. Parakiya Bhav. So that's the realm that the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want to enter, that realm. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, no one else could discover Radha Kund and Shama Kund. None of the Goswamis, all the others. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself personally discovered Radha Kund and Shama Kund. Because this is the zenith, the final point of all places in Braj, where the divine couple come every day. In the which time? Madhyan. Especially, every day they're meeting at Radha Kund. There may be some variations, and that's a long period, because some are shorter and some are longer. And there, they can freely play, in Radha Kund and Shama Kund, because others cannot access there. Not even Chandravali's gopis can come there. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed, Anarpita Charin Chirat, Karunavatirna Kalo, Samarpaitum, Unnata Ujjvala Rasa Svabhakti Shriyam. That is written by Rupa Goswami. He's revealing what has not been given for a very, very long time. In this universe has not been given since the previous what? Kalpa. We can easily pronounce the word kalpa, but how long is that? Just one day of Brahma. And the night of our time, 8.6 billion years. Billion years. So when Rupa Goswami is writing that verse, he is making a declaration. What this personality has come to give is so rare, and it's not been given for Anarpita Charim Chirat. Long, long time has not been given. Because why? Can anyone else give it? No. Even Krishna cannot give it to the jivas. But he has to come in a combined form, where he is completely overwhelmed with the bhav of Srimati Radhika. And Gurudev used to tell us in the very beginning of his travels how no one is as merciful as Gauranga. Why? Because we know, we sing the song every day, the verse, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. So Krishna is an ocean of mercy, ocean of Karuna. But what is Radhika?
Karunamayi.
Yeah, but there's another describing her mercy. Radhe Vrindavanadishe Karunamrita Vahini. Karunamrita means the nectar of mercy. Vahini means like a flowing river of mercy. So Karunamrita Vahini Kripaya Nija Padamja Dasyam Mahyam Pradyatam. Please be merciful. And Nija Padabja, your very own lotus feet. Dasyam Mahyam Pradyatam. Please give to me the service to your lotus feet. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga. Radha Govinda. So then Gurudev said, so each of them, individually, separately, they're completely unlimited mercy flowing from them, right? Like a whole ocean of mercy, flowing river of mercy. But Gurudev said when they combine together in one form, then nothing can parallel that mercy. So this is our line that we have so fortunately come in contact with in this human form of life. And what Mahaprabhu came to give, that was demonstrated by the 6 Goswamis as in the role of sadhaks. And that's why they're teaching the process of entering into Raganuga Bhakti. So, in the last, so, when Krishna sees her tilak, then he is at once attracted to Srimati Radhika. It works like a controlling mantra or like a goad, which is used to control a mad elephant from going here and there, breaking everything. They remember that Krishna wants to do tilak on Srimati Radhika, and very skillfully he is doing it. Right? Because Krishna has lots of skill. He's doing it. He's putting the tilak on Srimati Radhika with his own hands. Right? But what does she do? She pushes him away. She pushes him away. And she says, you are a neophyte painter. You don't know anything. And then she calls Rupa-manjari, Rati-manjari, especially Chitra. And they paint. So after finishing that, then they give all the ornaments. And Gurudev described all these abharanas and so forth. Yes, so many different types of ornaments. Actually, Gurudev is giving some, some like basic education from Ujjvala Nilamani. Describing. This is all given by Rupa Goswami and Ujjvala Nilamani. All these characteristics of the gopis and of their seva and everything. Yeah. So, we read all of this. And at the end of Gurudev's commentary, he says, every part of Radhika's body is so beautiful. So Raghunath Das Goswami describes them all. Overoru, one who has beautiful uru. Uru means thighs. Overoru, now I don't have your darshan directly, but please be merciful to me, so that even in a dream or a spurti, or after lakhs and lakhs of births, I will be with you. May I become qualified to perform your service, so you mercifully will call me, telling me, bring all these things and decorate me. O Varoru, will I ever have the chance that Lalita will call me to do this service for you? And praying like this, Raghunath Das Goswami is weeping. The gopis are giving these ornaments to Srimati Radhika, and she is so pleased to have this. When Radhika sees how beautiful her dancing earrings are, she is thinking that Krishna will see and dance like this. One important point is, and this is the last sentence of his commentary from yesterday, he says, one important point is that the best of all the abharana decorations of Radhika, you remember how he ended yesterday, is what? The best of all of the decorations being described and abharanas of Radhika is what?
Earring?
No.
Eyes, eyebrows?
No. See, you're all thinking. But Gurudev made a very unique statement here at the very end of his commentary. So we're hearing about how the gopis are decorating Radhika. But Gurudev is saying one important point is that the best of all the abharana of Radhika is to hear Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, and Krishna Guna. To hear all of the topics about Krishna, all of Krishna Nam and Krishna's guna qualities. That's the best abharana of Radhika, is that. So now we move on to verse 28. Yate kanshulir atra sundari maya vaksho jayor arpita shyama chadana kamyaya kila nasa satyeti vigyayatam kintu swamini Krishna eva sahasa tat tam avapya swayam pranebhyo pyadikam swakam nidiyugam sango payatyevahi. O Sundari, I did not desire that Sham would not see your breasts when I placed this kanchuli, this bodhis, on them, but O Swamini, I wanted him to suddenly come himself to cover your jewel-like breasts that are dearer to him than his very life by firmly embracing you. So this is about Kanchuli, that is her bodhis. So you can repeat, Ya te Kanshulir Atra Sundari Maya Vaksho Jayor Arpita Shyama Chadana Kamyaya Kila Nasa Satyeti Vigyayatam Kintu Swamini Krishna Eva Sahasa Tattam Avapya Swayam Pranebhyo Pyadikam Swakam Nidhi Yugam Sango Payati Evahi. O Sundari, I did not desire that Shyam would not see your breasts.
I did not desire that Shyam would not see your breasts.
When I placed this Kanchuli, this bodhis on them.
When I placed this bodhis on them.
O Swamini, I wanted him to suddenly come himself to cover your jewel-like breasts that are dearer to him than his very life by firmly embracing you. So Krishna Kanchuli. If Raghunath Das Goswami was in external sense, he could not have written this. And if he was not in external sense, it means that he was in Manjari Bhav with no bodily conception. If a person is not Tadatma in Krishna Bhav and has the material bodily conception of life, he has no qualification to read or hear these things. Now, they are ready to give Srimati Radhika her Kanchuli. They give Radhika the Kanchuli so that Krishna will not see her breasts. But actually, this is not the fact. It is not the fact that they are giving her bodhis so that Krishna will not see her breasts. No, that is not the fact. But actually, this is not the fact, it is outwardly. Outwardly, it appears so. This Kanchuli is so beautiful that Krishna will look at it and then also see her breasts. So it is not for Shyama Chadana Kamyaya that Krishna may not look there. It is not for that. But Satyeti Vigyayatam. Really the truth is that it is to take the eyes of Krishna there. Her Kanchuli is black and so glittering. It's glittering. Why? Why black? Gurudev is saying. The color of the Kanchuli and Krishna is the same. Srimati Radhika thinks that no one can touch her other than this. She always thinks that Krishna has touched her and covered her breasts. So with this mood, Srimati Radhika wears that Kanchuli not to cover Krishna's sight, but that his eyes will always be drawn there. Kintu Swamini Krishna eva sahasa tattam avapya swayam. Krishna doesn't want that she should wear that Kanchuli because the Kanchuli is himself Krishna. The black color means Krishna, and also Krishna directly covers her. So there is no need of a Kanchuli because Krishna is himself the Kanchuli for Srimati Radhika. Pranebhyo pyadikam svakam. This anga, this part of her body, anga, It is so dear to Krishna that he doesn't want that the Kanchuli should cover it. He wants himself to cover her breasts in his embrace. When Tulsi took that blackish Kanchuli and began to put it on Srimati Radhika, at once she saw there was no Radhika. Just as she's putting it on. Then she suddenly said, there's no Radhika, there's no Kanchuli, nothing. And she came into her external sense as Raghunath and began to weep. Where is Srimati Radhika? Where is that Kanchuli? And now he is praying, O Swamini, may I have the fortune that after your bath, I will put this Kanchuli on your divine limbs. Sri Anga. So that Krishna may see it and become so very much pleased and ask, who has done this? And by this, Krishna will have so much mercy on me, and you also will give me so much mercy. This is how Raghunath Das Goswami is praying to Radhika and to Krishna. So, there are so many things that he is remembering by this, as he is praying for this service. So Raghunath Das Goswami is thinking, Srimati Radhika has taken bath. I have combed her hair, given kajal, manohari tilak, necklace, and then Kanchuli. So, in Nishanta Leela, when is the Nishanta Leela?
Night, early in the morning.
Yes.
End of night.
Yeah. How is that meaning? Nishanta.
Nishanta night, anta.
End. Yes. So, in Nishanta Leela, Srimati is ordering Krishna, oh, you should decorate me. Otherwise, my Sakis will come and they will rebuke me. They'll rebuke me. You have upset all my decorations. In when? Nishanta Leela. You have upset all of my decorations. And you should quickly put it nicely again. She's telling. Because if her Sakis come and they see her in that condition, they'll rebuke her. So she's telling to Krishna, you should come and put everything properly. Put it nicely again. Now, Krishna did not care. Krishna did not care. And again, Srimati Radhika said, you have brought Sri Vigraha out from the mandir for worship. What is Sri Vigraha? The deity. And you have brought the deity out from the temple for worshipping. This is figuratively she's speaking here. You have taken it outside, the Sri Vigraha. Your archan and your puja has been finished. And now you should take the Vigraha back in the mandir and clean up after yourself, so that no one can see all these things. If you are not doing this, you are performing some offense to that Devata. Which Devata? Kamadev. So you should remove all these things. Which things? All of the decorations that are all in disarray. You should remove them, she's telling. And Krishna understood that she was telling right. Well, I'm doing so, Krishna said. So he combed her hair, he gave kajal, and all these things, and he began to give this kanchuli. So Srimati Radhika said, you are a very neophyte dresser. You don't know anything. Krishna says, what don't I know? Oh, you have started giving this kanchuli, but you have not decorated fully. And then Radhika looked towards Tulsi Manjari and told her to do it. And Tulsi took the kanchuli from Krishna's hands, saying, "You don't know how to decorate well, so I will do it." She took the kanchuli and began to put it on Radhika. And Krishna was sitting nearby, and so many moods were coming, such as, "She has taken my service," Krishna's thinking. And when Tulsi Manjari began to put it on, she came again in external consciousness. Now he prays, "O Sumukhi." You know what Sumukhi means?
Beautiful face.
Yeah, Mukhi means face, and Su means very, extremely beautiful. So now, Krishna prays, "O Sumukhi, may I decorate you with your kanchuli?" It is very near and dear to Krishna, this kanchuli. No, sorry. This is Tulsi Manjari. Raghunath Das Goswami has come into external consciousness, but he's remembering that he wanted to do the seva. And then he prays to Radhika, "O Sumukhi, may I decorate you with your kanchuli. It is very near and dear to Krishna. Sometimes Krishna wants that he may be turned into the kanchuli, and he always do the service of the kanchuli for you." So Raghunath Das is saying like that Krishna wants to become that kanchuli and always serve you in that way. So now he is praying, "O Swami, may I have the fortune that..." So Raghunath Das is praying, "When will Srimati Radhika be so pleased to give me this service so that I can decorate her with this kanchuli?" It may seem that all these verses are of one day, but it may be there are many years in between. They have been collected, so it seems that they occur in the same day, with the same continuity. But a sadhak will try to continue remembering this in a chain. We should see all these things in order. From Bahya Dasha, that means what?
External consciousness.
Yes, and Ardha Bahya Dasha?
Internal.
No. Half internal, half external.
Ardha.
Bahya Dasha. And then finally, Antara Dasha. We will come from Antara Dasha to Bahya Dasha. And in the midway to Ardha Bahya Dasha. In Bahya Dasha we will pray, and in Antar Bahya we will be weeping, remembering, not saying anything. In internal or half internal sense, we will be absorbed in remembrance. And when we come in external sense, then we will pray for all these things. So this is Gurudev's last paragraph in this commentary of verse 28. And he says, "Don't try to remember all these things now." Although we're all sitting here and we're hearing, Gurudev wants this. But he's saying, don't try to remember all these things now. At first, remember. that our Shuddha Sattva should come. What is Shuddha Sattva?
Purified goodness, pure goodness. But it comes from above to
Yeah.
the heart of the individual.
Is it of the material world? Sattva? Shuddha Sattva? No, it's not. Because that verse, written by Rupa Goswami, he in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he's describing how this state of completely transcendental Shuddha Sattva, how it will descend from the spiritual world. It's not a material phenomenon. Gurudev is saying that at first, remember that our Shuddha Sattva should come with the mercy of Srimati Radhika and our Gurudev and the Parampara. So, that verse of Rupa Goswami is describing the stage of Bhav. And how does that stage of Bhav manifest in the heart of such a exalted and qualified sadhak? How does it come into his heart? It descends. And Rupa Goswami gives a beautiful description of what that is and how it descends. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryamsu Samyabhak. Prema Suryamsu means the son of Prem, the Prem Surya, Amshu, a tiny particle of that blazing sun of Prem. It's actually Prem that is descending into the heart of the sadhak. Prema Suryamshu Samyabhak. So, what this is describing more explicitly, as Gurudev has explained, that is descending from the spiritual realm. But where is its source? Where is the source of that particle of a ray of prem that now permeates into the heart of the sadhak jiv in this world? It's not coming from this world. It's a totally transcendental phenomena that descends from the spiritual world down into the heart of the practitioner, devotee, who is now attained ruchi, asakti, and now is about to attain the stage of bhav. So what is that phenomena? Rupa Goswami is explaining. Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. Gurudev said that Rupa Goswami, in this first line, he's making a somewhat cryptic explanation there, that someone will have to go deeper and understand through those who have realized what is this Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. But in a simple and direct way, the meaning is that it is in the heart of those exalted personalities who are the eternal Nitya Siddha gopis, or in the case of someone who's aspiring for Vatsalya Prem, it can come from Nanda Yashoda and elderly gopis. But what that sadhak has aspired for in the stage of sadhana, prior to the stage of bhav, those moods of the eternal associates that he has been following, because anuga means to follow. So that exalted sadhak has been following the eternal moods of the eternal associates. And those eternal associates are like Krishna. They can reciprocate. They're in the spiritual realm, but they can reciprocate. And it is arranged that from their very heart, the heart that they have is like a big, huge sun, like a sun planet, and distributing rays from his heart of his eternal moods of service, his eternal loving exchanges with Krishna, his eternal staibhav, right? So that particle of a ray of prem coming from their heart is what comes down. It has to come from an associate. That is why it's called Rag Anuga. And what happens then? Ruchi bis chitta mashrinya. Prabhu Swami describes this. That ruchi bis means ruchi. What does ruchi mean? Yeah, different tastes. Ruchis. Ruchi bis chitta. What does chitta mean? The heart. Yes. And mashrinya. Ruchi bis chitta mashrinya means what? Melting. Melting. How is it melting the heart? Tastes, ruchis. And then there's a description there of 3 different categories of tastes that sadhaka begins to experience because Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryam Susamyabhak, because it has now descended into his heart. And the effect of that is that those tastes and those desires to serve Krishna in those moods of that eternal associate, they have the function of melting the heart. Krida so bhava uchyate. This is called bhav. When that descends into the heart. Yes. So Gurudev is giving a practical instruction here. He's saying, don't try to remember all these things now. At first, remember that our Shuddha Sattva should come with the mercy of Srimati Radhika, of our Gurudev, and the Parampara, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all our acharyas. They should come to us. Otherwise, if we will remember this now, then calm may come. What is that? Lust, mundane calm. So, he's giving a practical warning that if one tries to enter into that deep meditation without being qualified, then it may arouse kam, lust. And that's where the deviation comes of prakrita ras. Prakrita means mundane, material. Prakrita ras. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote a book with 100 verses. And so in that book, in 100 different verses that he composed, in Bengali actually, Bengali verses, the title of the book is Prakrita Ras Shata Dushani. Shata means 100. And Dushani means false. Very elaborately, he's explaining what are the 100 faults of Prakrita Ras. So our acharyas are trying to steer us properly in the direction of the appropriate contemplation, meditation, and so forth the appropriate, at the appropriate time and so forth. They're trying to help us to go in that direction, but because imperfection is still there, if someone tries to leap, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave the example of standing below, a mango tree and wanting to get those mangoes on the top of the tree, but the person, he doesn't want to take the trouble of climbing the tree to get those mangoes. So we should always be aware of our flaws and inadequacies for truly entering. But we should aspire. That's why Narottam Das Thakur has written that song. Goranga Bolite Habe Pulakashalir. And he gives the sequence of how that mercy will come. And who is a very important agent of that mercy? The first Nityananda. Arkabe Nitai Chande Karuna Hoibe. When will Nitai Chand, the moon-like Nityananda, become merciful to me? He will give me his karuna, his mercy. And Nitai Chanda Karuna Hoibe Samsara Vasana Mor Kabe Tucha. What's the meaning of that line? Samsara Vasana Mor Kabe Tucha Habe. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the power of his mercy is that what will become tucha? You know what tucha means? Insignificant. Insignificant. Tucha. What will become insignificant? Samsara Vasana. Our material desires, which are all surrounding lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, all of these things. But by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, then that can become tucha, insignificant. Then he says, Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha Have Man. Oh, when will I give up? Vishaya Charya. Charya means to give it up. Charya, to abandon. What? Vishaya. The attempt to enjoy the objects of the senses, Vishaya. And through this, and that's by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, then Shuddha Habe Man. What does that mean? Shuddha Habe Man.
Mind will be pure.
Yes, my mind will become Shuddha, pure. And then, what happens? When the mind becomes pure, and one has received the mercy of Guru, and Gauranga, and Nityananda, then, Kavi Hama, He Rabo, Shri Vrindavan. Then, when will this happen? That I behold. Herabo means to behold with your eyes. Kavihama Herabo Shri Vrindavan. The actual Vrindavan. Right? When will that take place? Now, at that point, then comes a very essential cultivation, a shift in the devotee's aspirations. And now, what starts to happen in the devotee's internal moods? Rupa Raghunath Pade. Hoibe, what? Akuti. What is the meaning of akuti? Eagerness. Gurudev's been talking about eagerness, but the actual word akuti means very eager. And eager for what? Rupa Raghunatha Pade. Srila Prabhupada, he gave his purport to this song. It's audio recording. And he said, Rupa Raghunatha Pade means the lotus feet of Rupa Raghunath. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. But then Prabhupada also said it also means from Rupa to Raghunath, all 6 Goswamis. Hoibe akuti, when will I have eagerness to follow the footsteps of Rupa Raghunath? But Prabhupada also gave a unique interpretation. He said, when will I become eager to study the books left by the 6 Goswamis? Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti. When will I have great eagerness? Then he says, Kabihama He Rabo. No. Kabihama Bujhabo Se. What? Jugala Priti. Kabihama Bujhabo Se. Jugala Priti. What is Jugala Priti?
Divine loving, the divine loving couple.
Well, more specifically, it means the love of Jugal. Jugal Priti means their love. Their love. Jugal means the divine couple. Jugal. Jugal Kishore, Radha and Krishna. So, Kamehama Bujhabo Se. Here, the word Bujhabo, in Bengali it means to understand. Bujhabo. When will I be able to enter into an understanding, some realization of the divine couple's priti, their love? This is what we're reading all about here. How Krishna's love becomes stimulated by the decorations that the gopis put on Srimati Radhika. So one time, I think the first time that I heard Gurudev tell this, it made me think. He said, actually, Krishna is not our goal to attain Krishna. And then he said, and also, Radhika is not our goal. That is not our prayojan, to attain Radhika. But then, what is our goal? Their love. Their love. Jugal Priti. That's our goal. That's our goal, is to enter into deep immersion, deep comprehension, deep experience of their love. Yeah, very significant. Because only that can be done by the manjaris, by the sakhis. Their whole existence is that. Serving that love of the divine couple and assisting. Nikunjayuno, Ratikeli Siddhyai. Ratikeli means their playful pastimes. Siddhyai means perfection of that. And those pastimes are going on in a very, very confidential place. Nikunja. Nikunja. Very confidential. Ratikeli Siddhyai Yayali Bir Juktya Pekshaniya. Ali B means the gopis. And Sri Guru is there in the Nikunja, serving the divine couple and their playful pastimes, Rati Keli, and trying to bring the perfection of their pastimes. Right? Rati Keli Siddhyai. Siddhyai means perfection. That's their goal continually, 24 hours a day. How to bring the perfection of Radha and Krishna's pastimes. And Sri Guru is what? Tatra didakshat. Tatra ati dakshat. Dakshat means expert. Tatra didakshat. She, in her form, is very, very expert in assisting the gopis, in making all the necessary divine arrangements for what? Rati Keli Siddhyai. Means the divine couple. Rati Keli Siddhyai, the perfection of their playful pastimes of prayer, their loving pastimes. So, and Ati Balabhasya. Balabhasya. In Bengali, that word, Balabhasya, is actually a verb. It's used as a verb. My love. I have so much love for you. Balabhasya. So, in this Sanskrit prayer, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that the spiritual master, Vande Guru Sri Charana Vindam, I worship his divine lotus feet, who is there in Radha and Krishna's confidential Nikunja Yuno Rati Keli, and is assisting the gopis, because in that activity she is very expert. Tatra ati dakshat, but also ati balabhasya. Very beloved. Very, very beloved. Balabhasya. To who? To the gopis, to the divine couple. So, Gurudev is saying, at first remember that our Shuddha Sattva should come with the mercy of Srimati Radhika and our Gurudev and the Parampara, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all our acharyas should come to us. Otherwise, if we will remember this now, then calm may come. We have so many anarthas. So only prayers for other things should be done. We should pray how Bhakti Vinod Thakur has prayed, how Narottam Thakur has prayed, and so forth. Not all these things. So Gurudev has just told all these beautiful, confidential, and then he's telling to those who he's speaking to, not now. You're hearing this, that's good. But don't try to enter into a sadhana of trying to remember these things. And that's exactly what Prakrita Sahajiyas do. They give this false siddha pranali. And they try to tell the person, oh, this is your actual deha, your siddha deha as a gopi and so forth. But they are full of anarthas. They're full of anarthas, and then they tell them you should remember this form, and you should remember what is your seva, and internally, right? But they're not at all qualified, because they're still on the external bodily plane, where they're identifying with the material body. So definitely lust is going to come. If they try to do that, which they are not qualified for. But yet we are told, you know that famous verse from the Rasa Lila? That is telling how one should hear one should hear these pastimes of Ras Leela. Yes, Vikriditam Vrajavadubir idam cha Vishnu. Shradhanvitam, with what? Deep Shraddha. Shradhanvitam, Anushrinuyad, and always hearing. Anushrinuyad means hearing in disciplic succession from Rasik Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas. One should hear this. Anushrinuyad atavarnayadya. And also, varnayad means to repeat, to speak about. Atavarnayadya. Kriditam vrajavadubir idam shavishnu shradhanvitam anushinuyad atavarnayadya. I'm forgetting the next line. Atavarnayadya. In that verse, then it is telling that the heart disease of lust, hridrogam, ashu apahinoti achirena dhira. When a person becomes dhira, sober, just like the first verse of Upadesha Amrita, Vacho Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udaropasta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dhira. Who can tolerate? Sarvam apimam prativim sashishyat. So, Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kama Hridrogam Ashu Apahinoti Achirena Dhira. Achirena means in a very short time, not a long time. That's where the word Charim Chirat comes from. That is, this has been given after a very long time. So Achirena means, the word Chira means time. So Achirena, that Bhaktim Param Bhagavati, that means Parabhakti, Parabhakti. It's pure bhakti will come by hearing with faith from the authorized sources, right? Bhaktim Param Bhagavati, to Bhagavan, Bhagavati, Pratilabhya. One will attain first this Parabhakti. And then what will happen? Hridrogam. The disease in the heart, it will go. Hridrogam Ashu. Ashu means very soon. Ashu means very soon. Hridrogam Ashu Apahinoti. That means, Apahinoti means it will be destroyed. This heart disease, Hridrog. Achirena, very short time, Dhira, for that sober person. So we want to become like that. We want to become like that, and Gurudev is telling us, don't try to go haphazardly. So he's saying, we have so many anarthas, and so only prayers for other things should be done. What is he talking about, other things? He's saying, we should pray how Bhaktivinoda Thakur has prayed. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edasi. All of the prayers written by Bhaktivinoda, by Narottam, they're praying for qualification, for being purified, and all of these things are going on in their songs. So Gurudev is saying, yes, we should pray how Bhaktivinoda Thakur has prayed, how Narottam Thakur has prayed, and so forth. But not all these things. So, Gurudev is always steering the course properly. That is why without anugatya, without proper guidance, not possible. And that proper guidance has to be a personality who is Mahabhagavat, is Rasik. Gurudev would always say, Rasik and no. Rasik and Bhavak, but another term he would use, who is knowledgeable about all Siddhanta, like Siddhanta Vit. There's another term he would use. Anyway, so in this way, this Vilapa-kusumanjali, we went a little bit late just now, but that's okay. Because there's nothing that urgent pulling us, is there?
You started early.
Huh?
You started early. Okay.
Yeah, we started a little bit. Okay, Gaur Premanandi. Shri Vilapa-kusumanjali ki jai. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Pada ki jai. Shri Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Prem Anandi. Hari Hari. I'll do a little short mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Radhai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah Ansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.